Great morning, you all. How are you all doing? This is your girl, Shan. Happy Tuesday. Like I do every Tuesday, I just want to thank you so much for joining us last night on our radio show, Marriage Mondays with the Kings, where we were doing the 5 love languages and talking about acts of service. And so thank you for the comments we received, the inbox messages, the questions. We always say, if you have any topic, listen to what I'm saying, any topic that you want to be discussed, you may want our opinion on it. You may want some scripture on it or whatever in regards to marriage, relationship, divorce, whatever. We encourage you to go ahead and inbox us and send us that information. Why is this happening? Why is it happening? Whatever, whatnot. So good morning, Keela. Good morning, Dalisha. Good morning, Tasha. How are you doing? Y'all know I always say good morning to the coffee crew. If this is your first time listening to my videos, you're like, who the heck is the coffee crew? That's the individuals who come on with me while I am on live. Good morning, Catherine. How you doing? While I'm on live. So I just kind of named it the coffee crew. You get up to cup. Anyway, so let me go ahead and get into something that has been irking my soul for years. And I don't understand it. Maybe y'all can help me. Maybe y'all can give me some insight. Good morning, Miss Bernadette. Maybe y'all can give me some insight, but I do not understand it. And I don't want to say the word that I'm thinking about mine because it may be too strong for some. But I don't understand. I'm asked this question, if you single, like I say, put it away in your little piggy bank for when you say I do, give you some insight. But I always ask people, are you your husband or your wife's biggest supporter? And if not, why not? You know what I'm saying? I sit up and I think about, there are so many people growing up that people told you what you couldn't do. You wasn't going to be good enough. Oh, don't have those dreams. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Cassandra. Don't have those dreams. Oh, they'll never come to pass. They'll never come to fruition, whatever the case may be. So why is it when you have been going through these things where people tell you what you're not good enough to do, you end up marrying your spouse and they tell you the same thing? Remember how I was talking about, conversations that you need to have if you single with individuals, not just falling in love with the exterior, ensuring that you got some substance. I don't understand why it is. And let me jump to this piece real quick. It burns me up when you have a husband or wife that you're married to and they tell you you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, nothing that you can ever do is right. Whatever the case may be, you busting your behind, you doing, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as you push through whatever it is that you are doing, and it's something a good light where they can get up there and they all beside you, this is my husband, girl. Yeah, girl. I'm so proud of him. And then the husband looking like, are you serious? Oh yeah, this is my wife. Yeah, I'm so proud of her. She got her doctorate degree. But you was the one saying that I was stupid and I wouldn't make it. Why is that even in marriages? I don't get it. And it burns me up because you sit up here and you beat your husband or your wife down. You don't give them any support. You make that road difficult for them. But then you got the nerve enough to be standing up beside them, skinning and grinning. It don't say anywhere in the scriptures, unless I always say, y'all know something that I don't, where it say beat your husband or your wife down. God gave me this on this morning when I was thinking about this topic, and I was like, wow, God, you were so right. Some of us that are married are not walking in our God-ordained calling because of the individual that we married to. I'm going to let that soak in for a minute. Some of us are not walking in our God-ordained calling because of the individual that we married to. Now, you know if you're in a toxic marriage or whatever the case may be, reflecting back, if God told you not to even be in that marriage or whatever, but you're not walking in your God calling because God has called you to do something and you're not doing it because you do not have the support of your husband or your wife. Why not? Why is it so hard to support our husbands and our wives? Now, y'all know I'm going to give good country examples because I had to sit back and reflect and think back. I thank God for the one man that I had in my life, which was my late grandfather, who told me that I could do anything. Don't worry about what people say. If you put your mind to it, baby, you can do it. And some of y'all need to hear that on today, 30, 40, and 50, 60 years old, because you're too busy waiting for somebody to cheerlead you along. And sometimes in the things that God calls us to do, you can't wait for your cheering crew. You got to just go ahead and push through and you got to do it, right? So I was sitting up thinking about my husband We were stationed here at Fort Hood. My husband was a fueler when he was in the military, just to give an example, right? And see, sometimes us as husbands and wives, we can't understand what it is that our spouse is doing. And sometimes it ain't for us to understand because we don't know what God is going to teach them and what they are doing. You see what I'm saying? So anywho, my husband, he decided that, he was a fueler for all these years, soldier, whatever. He was still in the military. He had the little tuition assistance. He decided that he was going to go to school for CNA. I was like, okay. I'm thinking, that's different ends of the spectrum, but okay, whatever. So I'm like, okay, baby. So he went to his little schooling. He had to do his little hands-on. We went ahead. We got him his scrubs. I was a medic in the military at that time. So anybody in the medical field, the stethoscope Liftmans, them some real expensive stethoscopes, good quality. And this joker walks out the first day because he's going to his job. Actually had a part-time job. This is something he wanted to do. I don't know why, but whatever. But I was cheering him on. Okay, baby. He was like, baby, how do I look? They had the little smock and everything. I said, baby, you looking nice. And then I'm sitting there looking like, dude, that joker got my stethoscopes around his. Okay. I said, baby, you look nice. Okay, go on ahead, baby. I'm cheering him on. He go the first day. He come back. I think he was working from like 6 to 11 or 6 to 10 at night, full-time soldier, whatever. So he comes back. And I said, baby, how was your day? How did it go? Oh, baby, it went pretty good. I was in orientation, da-da-da. Day 2. He getting ready to walk out the door. I'm cheering him on. You see what I'm saying? Oh, baby, you going to do a good job. Yeah, I'm proud of you, And I was very proud of him. So it was about an hour and a half later, my husband come walking through the door. And I'm like, why you walking through the door? Because, your shift ain't over. What's going on? This joker was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done. I said, what you mean you done? I said, baby, did you quit? It reminded me of that Martin episode when he was trying to find a job. Anyway, I digress. I said, did you quit? He said, so, baby, see what had happened is they told me that I had to go in this room and one of the people had died or whatever. And they said me and this other person had to go in the room and get the dead body. And we had to take it down and prepare it for the morgue. And so on the inside, I am crying. You hear me? And I said, well, baby, what happened? What? I don't understand. You a soldier. You tough. You could have did that. He told me, no, that's where I call it quits. I don't deal with dead bodies. I say all that to say, even in the midst of that, my husband had to do whatever he had to do. Why are you not your husband or your wife's biggest cheerleader? I don't get it. Why do you only cheerlead for your husband or your wife when they've made it, when they got that college degree, when they've been working on this invention and they done hit $1.5 million contract? Then all of a sudden you happy. I don't understand. And so you got somebody out there, because I hear you right now as I'm listening to this. Good morning, Miss Delia. They're saying, yeah, I just don't understand why my husband, my wife don't support me. I'm going to ask you this question. Are you doing something? What are you doing? We need to be our spouse's biggest cheerleader. We need to get to the point in our marriage, baby, I remember my husband was playing flag football, baby. I was dating him then, okay? Hit my husband and we gonna have some issues. I remember me and his coach had got kicked out the game because, baby, I wasn't playing about mine. Ask yourself, do you support your husband and your wife like you should? Because, see, this is what I've seen happen, and I'm just gonna keep it real, and y'all know I do. What I've seen happen is you have people that they are in a marriage right now, which is toxic. They don't get no support from their husband or their wife. They end up in a divorce. They continue to press forward because they're believing in whatever it is that God has for them to do. Even if they don't understand that God has them doing it, they believe in and they continue to press forward, and then they end up succeeding. Do you know, have y'all ever had this happen? Do you know how many wives and husbands I've heard say, I don't understand? Now, I've seen this twofold, and I'm breaking down. Number one, I don't understand. Why is it that when they was with me, they wasn't succeeding like that? They wasn't doing. And I'm sitting up here thinking and asking myself, did you support them? Because if they had you as a support system, then maybe they wouldn't have felt like it was such a struggle while they was married to you. The flip side of this, and this is point 2, which irritates my soul to no end, is I can't stand when you a husband or wife and you have an amazing support system. You have that wife, like on Diary of a Mad Black Woman, to give an example. You have that wife that when you sleep, she's staying up, she doing your correspondence courses, she doing your college courses, or while you sleep, you know what I'm saying? He he's getting up and he's making sure he's getting your bag and your lunch and he's doing everything. Hey, Brandy, he getting everything together for you. So when you get up, all you got to do is grab your stuff and go out the door. How many of y'all am I talking to? But then when you made it, oh, Lord, I almost said something because it came to mind and that ain't good to say. But when you made it, you sitting up here and you treating your spouse like they less than, like they didn't support you, like they didn't have your back, like they wasn't there for you, like they wasn't doing your correspondence courses, your college courses and all that while you sitting over here asleep. Just because you made it and you walked across that stage and you got that doctorate degree or that master's degree or that bachelor's degree, you know doggone good and well you didn't even log on half the time to do that stuff, especially if you was doing it online. Can we keep it real up in here? Somebody, you know you didn't, but you got the nerve enough to snub your nose down to your spouse who had your back because they ain't at the level that you are. Or you even can take a step further and you got the nerve enough to try to leave your spouse because they haven't made it to where you are. Baby, we got to understand this when it comes to marriage and us being husbands and wives. We are in this thing together. So anything my husband do, baby, that's going to benefit the family. Anything I do, I don't care. Let me be out here doing Mary Kay or some mid-level marketing business or whatever. Every little thing that you do as husbands or your wives, it turns back and it is something for the growth of your marriage and for the growth of your family. See, nobody wants to hear this on today because don't nobody want to hear the truth. So I'm going to ask you, are you too busy worried about yourself and being selfish? I don't know why God keep bringing me back to that, but there are too many selfish people in marriage. And you sit up here and you wonder, why is my marriage not working? I don't get it. I don't understand. Ask yourself, are you putting in 100% in your marriage? Are you supporting your husband and your wife 100%? Or are you sitting up here speaking with forked tongue, as my people say, or speaking out of both sides of your mouth like it say pretty much in the scriptures, to where you sit up here, yeah, baby, you doing a good job. Yeah, baby, you gonna make it. But then you turn around and you telling your family and friends, I don't know why he doing that, girl. I don't even know why he going to be a CNA. That don't even make no sense. You don't know what God has in store for your spouse. But guess what? When you put that doubt out of your marriage, when you both grinding and you doing whatever it is that God has for you to do, you are doing being each other's biggest cheerleader, that's when you will see your marriage flourish to even more, especially when you doing God's business. When my husband used to preach over the pulpit, baby, I was the biggest one out there in the congregation yelling amen. I got his back. Some of y'all will set up and let people talk about your spouse and talk your spouse down, and you won't even do nothing. You won't even say nothing. You won't even stop them. You sitting up here talking about, yeah, I kind of feel the same way too, but I don't even know how to say anything to them. Are you kidding me? Are we serious right now? That's why people know, baby, I don't play about my, you can't come up to me when I know Mr. King is going out slaving day after day, making sure his family's taken care of. Baby, you can't come up to me and say nothing crazy about my husband, because that's when you're going to see sweet Shan flip back to the hood Shan. That's what you're going to see. See, some of y'all need to be like that when it comes to your husband and your wife. You remember back in the day when people used to say, yeah, you can't talk about my husband and my wife, but I can. I used to hear people say that back in the day. But some of y'all are set up here and you'll let people dog your spouse. I'm going to be honest, and I'm not trying to call you out, men, but husbands, y'all the worst at this. Y'all the worst, especially when you got your family in your ear and you got your spouse coming to you and she telling you how she feel about something, or you got your spouse coming to you saying, baby, you know, I'm believing God. I'm going to step out on faith. I'm going to do this because I believe God called me to do this in my this season in my life. And then you sit up here to, yeah, baby, yeah, you can do it. But then as soon as your family member come and say, why is Shan doing that? I don't understand. Why she going back to school? She ain't got to go back to school. And then you sit up to, well, I don't know why she doing it either. It don't make no sense. But you got the gall and the audacity to have your tail standing up there on graduation day with your chest all puffed out like you done did some things. We need to get back to the basics in our marriage. Who am I talking to on this morning? Like I always say, don't tell on yourself. Wives, if you are feeling this right now, I just need you to make sure that you cut the volume all the way up on your device and you replay this. Girl, be in the bathroom. Set this on the sink, because I'm telling you, your husband is ear hustling. He want to know what you listening to. Let this go ahead and talk to him. Husbands, if you feel your wife don't support you, she always coming up against you and this, that, and the other, baby, go ahead and press replay. You see what I'm saying? Because she want to know what woman you listening to. I guarantee you, because baby, I'll be like, okay, who this woman that he always getting up to listen to every morning? So Ask yourself, are you your husband or your wife's biggest support system? Are you the one that hold them up? Are you the one that speak life into them? But let me tell you, it doesn't do us any good as husbands and wives when we sit up here constantly speaking life to you. As a husband or a wife, we're speaking life into our spouse or whatever, and your tail ain't willing to move. You ain't willing to put your best feet forward. Sitting up here speaking life, but you sitting up here talking about I'm nagging. Who am I talking to on this morning? So if you desire to get to the level of your marriage, of what God have for you to do, you need to be your spouse's biggest support system. Some of y'all say, well, Shan, I want to be my husband or my wife's biggest support system, but I'm scared they're going to up and leave me. Baby, don't worry about that, because God knows all. See, this is what the old folks say. God knows all and he sees all. You see what I'm saying? And that which you do may be preparation for greater. If you say, I did that while I was married to my spouse for 20, 25 years, and after he got to the level or she got to the level of where she wanted to be in life, she or he divorced me. Don't even worry about that. You see what I'm saying? It's hard sometimes when you know you done put in so much effort, but you got to know God is calling you to greater. So who you gonna believe? Are you gonna believe what you was attached to? That's why some of y'all right now who are divorced or you was in that horrible relationship can't move forward, because you still attaching yourself to dead weight in your past. Who am I talking to again on this morning? You see what I'm saying? You might have been the biggest support system, baby. You keep on running on. As the old folks say, you keep on keeping on. But I can't stand to see husbands and wives, the only time you sitting up here supporting and skinning and grinning is when your husband or your wife that made it to the next level, but it wasn't by your support. Okay? So again, are you supporting your husband or your wife? And if you are not, then why not? Okay. Hey, Rodney, how you doing? If you are not, then why not? It is horrible when you are trying to do the best that you can and you got somebody that's non-supportive. It is horrible when you're trying to do the best that you can, but your husband and your wife is reminding you of your family members who never supported you. And I will encourage you, if you are in this situation right now, let me tell you what I did. With my late grandfather who used to support me, and he's been gone almost 13 years now. I remember what he taught me, what he's spoken to me. All those naysayers, I put that out of my mind, because guess what? When people talk negative about you, they talking negative about you because they don't believe in themselves. That's number one. And number two, they believe everything that they gonna do is gonna fail. But what you gotta do is you gotta take that negativity, you gotta put that thing under your feet, and you gotta build a foundation, and you gotta step on it. Sometimes you got to put your head down and you gotta continue to forge forward. I'm telling you what I know from experience. And so the same ones who didn't want to cheer you on from your past, and the same ones, your ex-wife, your ex-husband, or whoever you married to now, them are the same ones that, baby, when they see you winning, when they see that God had elevated you to the level in which he called you, them are the same ones that don't even have a good word to say to you. Them are the same ones who can't even congratulate you and say, oh, you made it. So I don't know who this is for on this morning. I just wanted to give some encouragement. You may be in this situation right now, but baby, continue to press forward. You do not let go of whatever that God has for you to do. And you got to understand that God has things for us to do in the different seasons of our life. Okay. So if this is you, continue to press forward. You may be in this right now. You may be saying, Shan, I'm trying, but my husband, my wife is trying to stop me at every turn. Baby, if that's what God got for you, keep pushing, okay? Because your reward is going to be on the other end. So y'all have a blessed day. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Share this because it's free. Be a blessing to somebody today and not a curse. And like I said, thank you so much for joining us on our radio show last night. We will be picking back up, I think, on the 28th, because we're going to be out for Martin Luther King. So we're going to be picking up where we're going to be talking about God hates divorce. And the question of the day is going to be, if God hates divorce, why there's so many divorces? Why there are a higher divorce rate in the church? Yep, me and Mr. King gonna dig all up and through that. So y'all have a blessed day. Blessings to you, and your girl Shan gonna be back with you with whatever God placed in my heart on tomorrow. God bless.